Hello, my name is Melanie McCabe, and I am the author of the recently released novel, Road Longer Than Memory, which just came out from Ocean View Publishing. If somebody had told me when I was just a teenager that I would not realize my dream of becoming a published novelist until I was in my late 60s, I would have crumpled in despair. But despite numerous side roads that I took along the way in life, working in advertising, having children, and spending 22 years as a high school teacher, I never lost that dream that someday a novel of mine would make it out into the world. I kept writing. A memoir that I wrote won a prize and was published by the University of New Orleans Press. It's called His Other Life, and it was featured in the Washington Post. 4 books of my poems were published, and one was a finalist for the Library of Virginia Literary Awards, and another won the Longleaf Press Poetry Prize. But I still wanted to write a novel. And then Ocean View Publishing accepted Road Longer Than Memory and changed my life forever, but very late in the game. I would love to be on your podcast and to talk to your listeners about how it's never too late to change the course of your life. I can let them know how I found a publisher after I had abandoned all hope of ever finding an agent to represent me. I can talk about how I took a true story, which was the nearly 2 decades long battle to have an interstate highway go through my beloved hometown. It was a battle that was consumed with anger and protests and court battles. And I found a way to take that true story and weave it into an invented story of an unsolved murder and a young woman who's nearly broken by her failure to do the right thing to report the murder that she's witnessed when she was just a teenager. I can also talk about how I drew on 22 years of experience as a high school teacher to create a character who's also a teacher and who struggles to not sink her last hope of succeeding in this career despite her own guilt over past mistakes, and to bring to justice this man that she is now certain was the killer she witnessed 10 years ago, and who is now a colleague in the school where she was just hired. In addition to the novel and the memoir and my books of poetry, I've also had work published in the Washington Post, Reader's Digest, Georgia Review, Massachusetts Review, and other notable publications. I've done many readings and spoken at conferences, and I'm very comfortable in an interview setting. I would love to talk to you further about being a guest on your podcast, and I hope very much to hear from you. Thanks very much.